season full of promise and hope for Wolverhampton and Birmingham. A season that started so well and finished so badly. Now, we'll take a look at what went wrong. But there is always next year. Can Cradley say the same? Is tonight's Cradley Benefit Trophy meeting their last ever match? We're also going to discuss the Slovenia Grand Prix and what the hell was the ref doing giving Ty Woffenden gardening leave. And then there is the thorny, horrible subject of injuries. It's part and parcel of the sport, that's what we're told all of the time. Of course, it's true, but maybe like F1, we shouldn't be saying that. We should be saying we're leaving no stone unturned in our efforts to make the sport safer. Is that ever said? I don't think so. Only in Speedway. Good evening and welcome to the Speedway Tavern. On tonight's show we have got our old friend Chris the God Brown.
Good evening, yes I do.
God, because he's up there.
And you're down there.
Hey. And we have Matt Buck.
Good evening.
Enjoy a good holiday?
I did, yes.
Good stuff. You enjoyed being away from the rubbish that Wolverhampton's been.
Just a bit.
Yeah. And myself, GA, Michael, and many other things that have been called.
Yeah,
last week I was known as the Snowflake, by the way.
I did hear about that.
Yeah, did you hear about that? Yeah. So that was fun. Right, okay, so before we go any further, I think the first thing that we have to say is all the riders that are injured, and there's too many of them. I can't remember them all now. I mean, Tom Bacon and Danny Ayres and Sam... somebody whose name I can't remember them.
Sam Woods.
Sam Woods, that's the one.
Yeah, Sam Woods. There you go, it's up there now.
Okay.
And Tom Bacon,
Paul Hurry.
Yeah.
It's been an awful week for injuries, particularly if you're a Brummie fan, but I mean all over the place. If you're a Peterborough fan, they're obviously trying to win a playoff, win a championship, and they've lost Tom Bacon, and that's going to be big for them because he's been doing mega for them. Wow, just too many injuries. I don't know about you, gentlemen, but I've got to be honest, I've got to the point now where, as far as Speedway goes, and I love my Speedway, more than, you know, you both know how much I love my Speedway. I've had enough.
You've had enough?
I've had enough for this year. I want to get the close season on and take a deep breath. Hope all these riders get better and come back. And start again. Hopefully, having said all of that, I'm off looking forward to tomorrow's match against Peterborough.
It should be a good one.
I think that's going to be a good meeting. I mean, there's nothing. I can watch it relaxed.
Yep.
We haven't got any riders left to injure anyway.
Yeah.
So, you know, and it looks like a very good competitive meeting at a championship level. I just hope that there's a decent crowd for what's probably going to be our last match of the season. We've got to say, it might not be our last match of the season because obviously, mathematically, we can still make the playoffs. But it's not likely to happen.
It's unlikely now, I think. It's unlikely. It's going to take a really freak run of good results away from home to do it, isn't it? So
it's going to take. Well, we've got no more results to have. So I mean, we've got Mildenhall, of course, but on the cut-off date.
Yeah.
It's not looking likely. Talking of Mildenhall, there's a meeting going on as we speak. Cradley versus Mildenhall, the first leg of the. I suppose I ought to call it what its
official title,
which I forgot now.
The National Trophy.
The National Trophy. Thank you very much. How's that going?
It's Cradley 10, Mildenhall 14 after 4 races. They're just having a rerun in Heat 5. Carl Bickley's been excluded, lifted and has to jump off the bike. Up and okay.
Good. No more injuries, please. Just no more injuries. What a team Mildenhall have got.
They have. They've been the outstanding team of the season, haven't they? To be honest,
I hope they go on and win the league. They should do. I mean, obviously they've got injury problems now.
Yep.
But yeah, so I mean, we'll come on to the subject of injuries a bit later, and we'll have a chat, and hope everybody will join in. I've got a few thoughts and ideas about it, because funnily enough, it's all I've thought about this week.
Yeah.
From a Speedway point of view. Let's talk about the GP. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, it's getting a bit squeaky bum time, isn't it?
It is now, yeah. It's a few weeks ago. Everybody, I think we, including us, we thought
absolutely. It was 17
it was just a
points,
case. It was just a case of Ty Wolfenden had to not do anything stupid in the last 2 or 3 rounds. But since Cardiff, he's had the looming shadow of Bartos Smarsley getting bigger and bigger and bigger in his rear view mirror. So,
and it's always easier to chase than it is to lead, isn't it?
Well, he's got nothing to lose, has he now, Bartos Smarsley? I mean, he's been in fantastic form. I mean, look at his scores. I mean, he's got 19, 14, 18, 12 in the last 4 rounds compared to Wolfenden's 16, 10, 12, 5. That tells its own story, really. It's probably just as well that there isn't going to be an extra round in Australia, because then, you know, there'll be an extra round for Smarsley to reel him in. You know, it may well still be that Smarsley just runs out of GPs, but
he's only 9
points behind now.
That's, you know, it's, if he makes I do beg your pardon. If he makes a semi-final and a final, and Ty Wolfenden does, that's a 6 point turnover just by itself, isn't it?
So I think one thing Ty Wolfenden needs to do in the next few weeks, I think, he's get to his local track and have some gassing practice, because his gassing in the last 2 Grand Prix has been abysmal.
Absolutely abysmal.
And he's coming up to the next GP in Tetra, which is another gaseous track. So
his racing hasn't been particularly.
He looks slow, to be honest.
Yeah, he did. I mean, to be fair, that track was a bit.
No, the track was absolutely appalling, to be honest. It was a poor meeting.
Yeah, it was. It really was. We've got to talk about the gardening, and Ty Wolfenden getting excluded, which possibly didn't make that much of it. I don't think he was going to make a semi anyway.
Yeah,
and it would have been an extra point, maybe, or an extra 2 points, whatever it would have been. So he might have been 11 points in front rather than 9.
Yeah,
that might be a big difference. That right there might be the difference between him winning and. I know we've got a different opinion on this. Most people feel, what the hell was the referee doing? You think that the referee did the right thing. So now now that you've angered everybody and got everybody up against you, you've got to explain why.
Everyone's going to be furiously typing into their keyboards now, aren't they? So
you've got to explain, why was the referee right?
Well, when I first saw it, I was inclined to think the same as you. What's he done wrong? But when you watch I think it's the second replay, and it shows there's a good shot of the last sort of 24, 25 seconds before there's the clock gets to 0. At the point of 0, Hancock, Janowski and Smarslick are all at the tapes. Wolfenden's still further back. That to me is what's done Wolfenden. I mean, Wolfenden, in fairness, one thing Wolfenden should know, I mean, he's ridden in Poland long enough, he should know that the Polish officials are far stricter with the 2 minutes than they are certainly in this country.
Was it a Polish official?
It was a Polish referee, yeah.
Okay. But he didn't apply the same rule to anybody else.
Well, I agree with that. I don't think it certainly wasn't a very consistent referee.
Yeah. So therefore, what he's saying is Ty Wolfenden, you wasn't, but everybody else can get away with it. And I don't mean in that particular heat. I mean in heats before and after.
Absolutely, there should have been more riders excluded from other heats as well.
So therefore, by that criteria, it was wrong, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, the decision, in my opinion, was the right one, but it should have been.
It should have been the right one in the next heat.
It should have been the next one, and the one before, and the one before that as well. So yeah, but that's just the way it goes. And
also, I would have to say that I have never seen a Grand Prix where that's happened before, and I'm sure that there's been Grand Prix where people have been slightly behind the time. I mean, he was up at the gates. It wasn't as if he was not on the track or at the gates or under power or any of that. And that's happened before. So therefore, if he's going to apply something that's not normal, then he should have told the riders beforehand as well.
Well, you don't know how the riders were briefed before in the pre-meeting briefing.
I think you can bet your bottom dollar that if he had briefed them, that another rider would have said it or something like that. You know, we knew that what the situation was. I don't know what ties.
I mean, this is the frustrating thing, isn't it? Really, because we've called. I mean, even not just on here, but on, I've heard fans that will tracks all up and down the country saying why aren't referees strict at applying the rules? And in that instance, the referee, in my opinion, does apply the rules strictly, and everyone
but not consistently.
It's an uproar because of it.
Yeah,
but it's got to be consistent.
But people wouldn't be in uproar if it was consistent. If they knew that's what if it was just referee from it has to be referee from referee, meeting from meeting. It has to be consistent, and it's just not. And it's one of the. I mean, that's sport in general with referees, isn't
Bring
it?
back Frank Ebden.
Yeah.
I mean, he was consistent with it, wasn't he?
Yeah. Possibly over-consistent.
Over-consistent. Obviously, just one or two riders from Denmark, I think. One in particular.
So we've got a few things on the old shout box. Sean Simo Simpson said, great Heat 4 win in the Swedish League for Robert Lambert. It's nice to see British riders doing well over in Poland at the moment. Wendy Jane Barrett said she's happy because she's hoping for a Mildenhall win over the Dream Team.
I've never heard Crowley called the Dream Team before, but...
Sean Simo Simpson was obviously looking at the meeting that we put on before Greats of 1989, I believe. And he says, wow, one of the names I supported as a kid, Anders Michenek. I was born in 1968 and never knew why the name stuck in my mind. All of this time, first time I've heard his name in 50 years.
But going back to what we were saying there about the starts, as I say, Polish referee. You watch any Polish league meeting, they're far stricter with that rule on 2 minutes. Right. It's 2 minutes, you've got to be ready. In this country, it tends to be you've got 2 minutes to get on the track, and then you can just mess about for ages if you want. You have the rule in this country is if you're under power heading towards the... Yeah. If you're on the track, under power, heading towards the tape, that's fine. Yeah. That was changed because of this business of not being able to ride across the centre green. So the riders were saying, well, we can't ride across the centre green. We've got less time to get ready, so they changed it. Mm-hmm. For that, we've got a few more. What I don't really understand is why, when a race gets stopped or someone gets excluded for not beating the 2 minutes, why then the other riders then put in a fresh 2 minutes? Mm. Shouldn't it be just an extra minute or something? Because they're all on track. I mean, I know you've got to bring in a reserve replacement, and he's maybe got that a bit of time to get himself ready, but. Really, you could argue that a reserve should be ready anyway, because he never knows when he's going to be needed to go out on track. So yes, yeah, absolutely. Tomo's just updating us on the Cradley matches, saying it's now 14-22 to the National League select, as he puts it. I've got to be honest. I'm not a fan of Cradley. I think I've made that quite obvious. It's just history. I mean, it's just banter. It's just rivalry between two local teams. I can't feel celebratory in them. I mean, I don't want them to win. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't go that far. But it might be their last match. I mean, they don't know. Nobody knows what's going to happen. I mean, and this is going to be one hell of a close season because of all the things that are up in the air. Yep. League changes, whether teams are going to be coming back to the track next year, if there's rumours of more clubs that have made huge losses this season. Looks like Rye House isn't coming back unless they can run two teams at Rye House, because Lakeside of course are going to run there. Are going to be running there. I think it's Lakeside's last ever meeting at Purfleet on Friday, isn't it? So because it closes this week. So yeah, that's. It's never good to see a track close. Don't know how many they're very rarely open. Yeah, well, how many fans are going to be commuting over there? Because I mean, it's a longish trip from. Is it? I know it's obviously within the boundaries of London, but trying to get across from one half of London to the other, I have bad experiences. Not easy. That, yeah. It's not a fun experience. No, you're absolutely right. So carry on talking about the Grand Prix. You've got to say. Is Bartek Schmarz the favourite now? And he's got a head of steam up, hasn't he? He has got a head of steam up, but Wooffinden's got the points in the bag. That's the one thing he's got going in his favour. I've got to say as well, he took the exclusion very, very well, to be fair to him. Yes. I think the Tom Woofinden of 3 or 4 years ago would have probably found the nearest TV camera. It did surprise me, actually. I thought when he went back to the pits, his helmet was very least his helmet was going to go flying, but he was very calm about it. Yeah. And he's not
made a great big fuss about it. He said his piece and said, but, I'm just concentrating on the next match now.
Well, he's got to put it behind him now. There's
Yeah.
nothing he can do about it. He can't change the decision.
That's experience there, right there, isn't
But
it?
as I say, like I said earlier, what he needs to be doing, he's working on his starting, because he's gating. He's absolutely appalling at the moment. Certainly in the last. I mean, he got third place in the last round, but that sort of papered over the cracks a little bit because he didn't perform particularly well. And as I say, the next one is going to be in Germany, which is going to be another track where gating is going to be very, very important.
Yeah.
So, but my goodness, it's made for a. It's sort of livened up. What was pitching out to be quite a dull GP series is looking like it could be shaping up to
it's going to be very good and very. I mean,
with the last round, of course, in
the
Poland,
races that they're against each other.
Yeah.
It's unmissable, isn't it?
Yeah, and of course with the last round being in Torren, so there's going to be plenty of Poles who are going to be there that night. There's a chance of seeing Poland have another world champion, first one since Golub. So
we ought to give people a bit of an update on what's happening with the show actually before we go any further. So what we're looking at the moment, this can all change if Birmingham by some miracle make the playoffs. Basically, Birmingham season's over, Wolverhampton season's over, which is the main focus of this show. Not the only focus, obviously. So basically what we're talking about doing is this being the last show tonight until the next one, which will be in probably about 2 or 3 weeks. What we want to do is come back at the end of all the playoffs and the National League Riders' Championship and so on. And I'm gutted about the National League Riders' Championship, by the way, because that was Tom Bacon's as far as I was concerned.
Yeah, great chance of winning that.
It's now Connor Mountains, I think, particularly with it being at Leicester. But anyway, that by the by. So we'll come back and do a final show to sort of round up the whole season and congratulate who's won. But I think it's time for us to nail our colours to the mast. Championship, I think Peterborough are going to win it.
I think so, yeah. Even with the injuries, I think they still look the strongest of the teams in there.
And Premiership,
Kings Lynn.
You're going to go Kings Lynn.
Look at the form; they're in great form.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? Yeah, I can't argue with you. But Paul always surprises you. Well, it's not a surprise, but you know what I'm saying. But yeah, now that the Kings Lynn are looking so good,
It's going to be a really good playoffs, I think, because you've got 4 teams in there that are all capable of beating each other. So
Kings Lynn have chosen. Is it Bellevue? Have I got that right?
They have, yeah.
So it'd be Paul against. I can't remember. Remind me.
It'll be Poole against Somerset.
That could be could be a tasty match.
Tell you, that was a great race at Bellevue last week. The race with the Max Frick one. I'm not sure whether I've
seen it. Yeah, I have seen it. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. Where we can find that, we might put that up on.
Yeah.
And Jonathan Jockey Partridge says, "Shame. I've only just seen you on Facebook."
I know, and it's the last show.
Yeah. Well, last show into the next one.
Yep.
I've got no idea what to say to that.
We must have.
He's very unlucky to have found us on Facebook.
He could have found us at 8:59, I suppose, couldn't he?
Yeah, I mean, we are talking about buying some masks that might, get better viewing figures. Although we got to say thank you to.
When are you going to take yours off?
Oh. We need to say thank you to everybody actually, because our viewing figures have just been going up and up and up. It's to level that is just absolutely astounds us.
People actually like us.
Well, I don't know. So just thank you so much for that, and also well, let's talk about that.
We'll read that.
Read that.
We'll talk about that another day, shall we?
We'll read that in a minute.
Yeah, okay.
That's throwing me, that one. so yeah, well we've been doing this now for 10 years.
Long time.
Is it next year?
10 years.
10 years
next year. 10 years ago next year was the first sort of like strange show we did.
It was a strange
with
show.
The plastic mic in the corner over there.
Shouting into the microphone.
The microphone. We had one microphone. We were shouting into the microphone, and we had a grand total of. It's a lot, wasn't it?
I think it was
Couldn't believe how many we got.
One and a dog.
No, it was 11. It was, I can remember, it was 11 listeners. We had 11 people listening.
You know more personally.
Now we're up to 12.
We're up to 12, yeah. 1,000.
The dog never listened again, did he?
No. But you really shouldn't talk about Chris like that. Anyway. So we're gonna plan a special something next year, aren't we, to celebrate it? So just watch this space. I
was thinking maybe we could have people on the show, do a special show, and have people on the show who've been guests, but some of them we don't want back.
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. Yes. So we'll vote. You can vote for that. Do you want Alan Phillips to come back on the show?
Oh dear, he's a listener, you know.
Yeah. We could invite him and Graham Drury and not tell each other that they're coming. No, that's probably not a very good idea, is it?
That's right, yeah.
Right, let's put that comment up. Let's deal with that comment.
Okay. You want to talk about the on the forum? Yeah.
So Thomas says, "Hey GA, I've been told yours and Buck Dingle's dad's comments on the Brummies forum have now stopped a lot of Brummies going down Perry Bar next season. I don't understand what he's trying to say there.
No, I don't understand that at all.
So perhaps you could explain." I don't. My dad doesn't go on the four. I can. Ask Buck Dingle from Wolves 7 that finished the season. Would you retain the same to GA on Brummies declared 1 to 7 that finished the season? I'm not entirely sure what he's trying to. What the question is there. There is a question.
Which of the riders on the 1 to 7 from each team would you keep for next year?
Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, but basically.
I would. It's easier for you to answer because what I don't know is which league we're going to be in.
Yeah.
So that's a very. If we're staying in the National League,
it's also very difficult to answer because most of the riders in the Wolves team are not Wolves assets. So
no.
Go on.
A couple of great questions here.
Okay.
Firstly, so in the 10 years, who was the best guest?
Jano Pedersen.
I was going to say the same thing. Yeah.
The most high profile one in Speedway ever, isn't he? You know,
Jano Pedersen.
I remember
Andy Graham was good.
Yeah.
Andy Graham
was
Pedersen was probably great because
he came into the studio. He actually came into the studio and I was
perma-grin.
Yeah.
He's a good lad, Jano. He's a good
in the spotlights, wasn't I?
He's a good lad, Jano.
Yeah,
that was
a terrific rider as well. Really enjoyed watching him race.
And the second question is, Alan says really kindly, says the BSPA should get a hold of this show and make it bigger and more visible to the wider Speedway audience. Maybe listen to the show themselves and get some great advice.
I don't say that. Thank you very much.
Can't disagree.
And I didn't realise it was Lee Kilby that said.
Yes, it was. Yes, yeah. Our Lord
and Master. Yes. Wasn't it an all-time high on Walletgate week from Wendy Jane Barnett?
I think that's referring to your.
Oh right,
to your little misdemeanors.
Yeah, probably was because I wasn't here. Yeah.
It's always a good showing,
yeah. Shall I go now?
Yeah,
just get my coat.
In fact, the audiences go through the roof when you're running. Because it's your fault.
It's my friends that tune in. That's what it is.
It's your fault. All the gates are gone down apparently next season. So
okay, apparently so. Injuries. Yeah. Shall we move on to that now? Would love everybody's feedback on what they think about the injuries.
Yeah.
Tom, okay, we'll go around to this one. What has happened to the young lad who used to be with you?
He's not a young lad anymore.
He's not so young anymore. We're talking about Joseph. Well, Joseph's actually my son. And what's happened is that he's studying very, 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 very hard for his A-levels because he wants to go to university. So that's
he metamorphosed into the Kevin and Perry, and then he's gone through that stage.
Yeah. So he's that's what happened to young Joseph, and I think he's made the right decision. So as a dad.
There's another question I'm not sure we should answer, but who was the worst guest?
Who was the worst guest? We've already answered that, haven't we? Although we didn't know it at the time. Let's be fair.
I think it was a great show.
Yeah, that when Alan Phillips
Yeah.
it came. It was a good show,
Yeah.
and he was a good guest, and he was talkative, and
And to come in as well. I think
Yeah, and he
that's
came
right,
in as
Yeah.
well. Who was the worst guest?
I have to think about that.
Yeah, we'll have a think about that, and then it's the.
I don't think there has been a worse guess.
Nah. Great thing about Speedway riders and promoters, that in my
Yeah.
experience, and we've had Mick Horton on the show, we've had
Chris Harrison, obviously.
Harrison,
Yeah.
Lots of phone guests. Really.
Yeah.
They're all happy to talk,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they all talk well.
Mm.
And if you start them on their favourite subject, you can ask a question and then sit back for 5 minutes, and that's great. You know.
Yeah. Personal experience, I thought I really enjoyed talking to Tony McDonald. I did the interview with him just after Ivan Major had passed away. That was a really
Yes, that was
fascinating insight, because obviously he knew Ivan well from interviewing him as he's working for the Speedway Mail and all sorts, and being a fan watching him. So
Should next year's team averages be based on this year's winners so the holders can keep a winning team together if they choose to try and retain their title rather than having to split winning teams up because averages are too high? It's an interesting question. I'm going to throw that to you first.
I think that frustrates a lot of people is because that you get a team together that's successful, and then you have to break it up the year later.
I think it doesn't work
No.
doing that. What he's saying, Ian Faultless is asking, and the reason I think is that is it Ian Faultless that asked that? Or was that somebody else that asked that? Sorry.
I'll just quickly check. No.
So I said, and this is why I think it doesn't work. If you look at Mildenhall's average this year, it certainly doesn't work in the National League, but I don't think it works in the other leagues as well. If you look at Mildenhall's average, it's going to be somewhere like 52, something like that. We'll say 52. So what he's saying then is that that they can keep their team on 52, they can retain the riders, and everybody else works to 52.
Yeah.
There's not enough riders.
No.
You can't do that. There's not enough rider. So what happens is that the teams with the money win the title, and it becomes a Manchester United thing or a Manchester City thing, I should say.
Not in recent years. Not in recent years. Come on.
No. Yeah, I did change. So unfortunately, it's a great idea.
It's a great idea, flawed.
Yeah, it doesn't work, unfortunately. Ian Faultless, tomorrow will be my only meeting this year after deciding to sit out this season. I may come back next year if we go up. What I've been saying, isn't it? No National League for me anymore. Okay, so Ian, have you watched any National League racing? Because we've had some.
There's been some great meetings, and the Cradley meeting I think was one of the best meetings of the season, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The Coventry meeting as well when they came earlier in the season.
Good racing as well.
Was a terrific meeting.
I mean, I want to go back up.
Yeah.
I think a city of this size, it's ridiculous that we're sitting in the third tier, to be honest. But we don't know what's going to happen next year. We don't know whether there's going to be a second tier, whether there's just going to be one tier, which I probably wouldn't want us to join necessarily.
I don't think there will be one tier. I don't think they'll do that again.
It doesn't seem to be the way.
I think that's probably going to be as a last resort if everything else fails.
Alan Atherton says, "Have you had any referees on?" I don't believe we have.
No,
I don't believe
that would be good.
We did have invited a couple of referees.
Chris Durno, possibly one of them, because he
Yeah.
lives locally, doesn't he? So
I actually, you're not allowed to spit when I say this. I actually invited Margaret Vardy to come on once, but they've never got back to me. So
are they allowed to do?
I don't know. And if they turn
around
around and said we're not allowed to, but I think they do. I mean, I've seen referees at the Nuneaton thing that happens at the Coventry. I've seen that. So I don't know. I would love to have some referees on, and if there's any referees out there listening, we're nice. We might ask difficult questions.
Well, me and Matt are okay.
Yeah. Okay. If it's 2 leagues, 50 points Premiership, 42 Championship, build your team around that. At least 3 Brits in every team. Is there enough riders to do that at that averages?
Not sure, because you've got to remember as well. It's not just about having the extra riders. It's about saying it's if the riders that are already here decide they want to be part of it.
I tell you what the big problem with Speedway is. Well, no, I tell you one of the problems that I think Speedway has, which is caused a little bit by the averages, is it's very difficult to work out relevant distances between the top tier and the second tier.
Yeah.
And they did try that experiment where they tried to bring them closer together, and we all thought they had, and that it was going to be exciting at the end of the year with the playoff relegation
Promotion.
promotion. That's the word I was looking for. But it didn't happen. It wasn't as close as
It wasn't successful, so they just binned it.
Yeah, well, that's something that they keep doing, and it just if it doesn't work the first time, then find out why it doesn't work and make it work. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. So there needs to be one set of averages, not different averages for the Premier.
I think they did do that last year, didn't they?
Did they not? They're the same. They're the same set of averages.
Same set of averages, yeah.
So
that's why we ended up with a situation where you had Jason Doyle on a 13-point average.
Right.
Remember?
Well, then they didn't do it right.
Yeah.
But there needs to be a way of doing that, or scrap averages altogether and have them grades. Yeah, the grades can be based on averages, so the averages still play a part.
Yeah.
But riders that are then graded according to ability, and you're allowed to have so many different riders of particular type of grade. That sort of thing might work. It's certainly worth looking at.
It's still 14:22, by the way, in the Cradley Mildenhall match. Ellis Burks has gone to hospital. Foot and ankle injuries. Just thought I'd bring that up.
Alice Perks rides for Mildenhall, doesn't he?
He's riding for Cradley tonight.
Riding for Cradley tonight, okay.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah, because it's cherry picking. Right, let's get onto that subject. Let's talk about that subject. And by the way, everybody, share, and you get put in the draw for our very last show for a T-shirt. And we might, do you know what? If it's for our last show, do you think we could throw in a hat as well?
I haven't got any hats.
Okay, we won't throw in a hat then.
I've got some Birmingham City hats.
No, we won't do that.
There's only Wendy that might appreciate one of those.
In the whole of Birmingham.
Yeah.
Okay, so injuries. I said at the start of the show that you listen to any promoter and talk about injuries, and there's almost always this one phrase.
Graham Drew used to always say it, didn't he? So.
It's part and parcel of the sport.
Yeah.
So what? Yes, it's part and parcel of the sport. It always will be part and parcel of the sport. If there wasn't some sort of risk involved, it perhaps wouldn't be as exciting.
Yeah. I think
there's too much.
Yeah, I think there's got to be an element of if there was no risk to it, everybody would want to do it, wouldn't they? So.
What we don't hear ever is that we're continually looking at different ways. I mean, I've got to be fair. Is it Terry Russell's been? He's looking at finding a way of anchoring the air fence so that it doesn't come up and riders slip underneath it.
I think it's Terry Russell, yeah,
which is great. I mean, let's. Hello.
This is quite important. We must say happy birthday to Brian Ricketts during the week.
Happy birthday, Brian Ricketts.
Yeah, 70 years of age. You'll love me saying that.
That's a good one.
Carry on.
So it feels complacent. That's the word. It feels complacent. And okay, we haven't had somebody die on a speedway track in Britain for a long time. I can't remember who it was the last person to die on a speedway track in Britain.
I think it was David Nix in 2002.
Right, so that's a fairly, given the levels of danger within this sport, that's. But we don't want to see another one die, and there's just too many. What I haven't heard and what should be done, Nate, if there's anybody out there that tells me differently, but I just haven't heard this. Any sort of survey of when injuries occur, which tracks they occur on, what the weather was like, etc., etc. An in-depth study of what goes on at each and every speedway track around the country when there's an injury. So that you can look at trends. You can find out hold on, this sort of thing keeps happening when this sort of thing is, and so that you've got information and data. Data is key to base decisions upon, to hopefully improve things in the sport. I keep hearing lots of anecdotal snippets from different fans on the different forums that, oh, this track's dangerous because they're always having, whatever. But there's no actual proof, there's no actual evidence or any sort of survey on any of this. And that, at the very least, should be being done, shouldn't it?
Are Speedway bikes too fast now?
Too fast.
They are a lot. They're certainly a lot more powerful.
They're more powerful.
Were.
I remember Andy Graham and Alan Graham having a go on the new Speedway bikes when they had their race back in 2008, I think it was.
Yeah.
And Alan Graham said he couldn't believe how much these bikes pulled.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not qualified to answer that. But is it something that should be looked at? But that's something that Britain itself can't look at. That's got to be a whole.
The FIM have got to look at that.
That's going to be a whole.
It's got to be swept out across the board in all the leagues.
Yeah.
And
so that's I'm looking at, from a domestic point of view, what we can do, and that's the very I've seen some of these reports. Every track at the end of the meeting, the referee has to give a report about the track, the state of the track, and then these all get collated, and then you get awarded the best track based on these.
Mm-hmm.
Why are not injury statistics being collected at the same time?
Well, we don't know whether they are over.
Well, I don't think they are.
Nobody tells us anything. Well, from the
that's true. And if they are, I apologise, but if they are, that should be public knowledge.
There should be sharing. So
yeah, I think it should be public knowledge. So it's something that I think should be done.
Yeah.
And with that, you get lots of data. With data, you can look at it and you can work out, well, we could do something about this. It's just one small step. There are other things that could be done. But
I seem to remember Chris Van Straten, it's got to be about 4 or 5 years ago, saying that he felt that it was time for the sport to start looking at standardising equipment. One, to reduce costs, and two, to not end up in a situation where a relatively inexperienced rider is given something that's far too powerful for them. Because I've seen sometimes riders have had instances where they've been given a bike that's too powerful for them, and they've tried to override it, and they've ended up. Because the one thing that I've noticed now that I never used to notice in Speedway up until about 4 or 5 years ago, the number of crashes you see where a rider's unchallenged, they just fall off on their own, right, or they just lose control in the middle of the corner.
I think I've seen that all through. I think I've seen that even back in the.
But I think I've seen it more in recent years than I have in recent years than I have when I started watching Speedway all the years ago. So.
Okay, Lee Kilby.
Yep.
I do beg your pardon, Lee. Has come on the shout box. I think tomorrow will be a good gauge for David and Peter Mason at Birmingham as to whether fans like Ian that have given National League a miss will support a higher level of racing back at Perry Bar. Fans need to support with their feet tomorrow. Many fans have said they know fans that have missed for this reason. I'm looking forward to seeing tomorrow.
I think it's all about opinion, isn't it? Because I've seen some fans who've said that they're not going to go tomorrow because they want to stay in the National League because they enjoy the. I mean, the National League has got its perks, and it's obviously it was National League or nothing for Birmingham when it came back in 2015 after the Phillips promotion fell apart. But has it really served its purpose now? Because you don't want to be in a position where Birmingham have Birmingham really got anything else left to achieve now in the National League? They've won it twice.
Well, Knockout Cup, I'd love to win that, but well, no. I mean, I've gone on record as saying that I think the only way you're going to improve the crowds at Birmingham now is by going up a league.
Yeah.
It is a gamble, though. Let's be honest about it. It is a gamble because once you lose fans, they don't necessarily come back. I mean, we was talking about this before we went on air. The biggest problem is, I mean, the city the size of Birmingham, people don't know it exists.
Birmingham is the biggest city in England that stages Speedway. Remember, because there's no Speedway in London.
Well,
unless you can
Rye House,
or Lakeside.
Happy anniversary to Trevor and Pam Hedges. That's from Roy Mason.
Oh, there you go.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. But yeah, the city the size of Birmingham, we should be pulling in bigger crowds than we are. but they don't know it's there. A number of conversations I've had with people and spoke about Speedway, and I get the stand. Oh, I used to go to the Speedway in the 80s. I didn't realise it was. I thought they'd closed down. We've been going for 10 years now.
I know, yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yep.
I don't know why is it such a secret sport?
People like to say Speedway is motorsport's biggest secret. It's motorsport's biggest secret because nobody tells anybody that it's there.
Well, that's part perhaps.
I think a lot of it maybe is, in a sense, is complacency, isn't it?
I'm convinced that there's an audience out there for it. How can there not be? It's one of the most exciting things I've ever seen in my life, And some people will like it. It's a bit Marmite. Some people will like it, and some people won't. But more people like it, surely, than turn up now. So, yeah, I mean, I hope people do vote with their feet and come tomorrow.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is that's going to still be die-hard fans, even if it's die-hard fans that haven't come to the National League. But I hope they do turn up, because I do want to go up a league, but it's still the same problem, isn't it? It's attracting new people. I've got to say, Lee has really made a fantastic effort on that and a good start, and keep up the good work, please, for next year. Let's not and it's not just Speedway that's has this problem at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Sporting events all over have this problem, but what sporting events don't have this problem? Snooker doesn't have this problem.
Yep.
Snooker's audiences are going up, but they get most of their money from television.
That's right.
They don't have 20,000 turning up at a snooker stadium. They don't need 20,000 because they get. And television's obviously going to be the key. So maybe if we can get into the Premier League, maybe we get some television coverage. I don't know.
I don't know whether there's any plans for BT.
We'll find out tomorrow. I'm looking forward to tomorrow because I think it's going to be a cracking match.
I don't know whether there's any plans that BT got to branch out and cover Championship meetings as well as Premiership meetings, if the Championship and Premiership's still there next year. So
okay, this is I hadn't heard this. So Wendy Jane Barnett says, by the same token, some season ticket holders are apparently not going tomorrow because they'll have to pay to get in. Who'd be a Speedway promoter? Well, it's an extra meeting. It was never on the season ticket.
That's right.
It was never, and they were very, very, very open and honest about what was included on the season ticket. It's an extra meeting. It's a meeting at a higher level, which obviously costs more to promote, and all the rest of it. But season tickets are still getting £1 off.
Do you remember what the crowd was like for the Tiny Mall Farewell last year? It was a good crowd, I think.
It wasn't a bad crowd, yeah.
Yeah, because it was. Obviously, that was a high quality field, wasn't it? So
it was the second biggest crowd for the last since it began.
Sarah Luna Bloom Gosling. That's a name. That's a cracking name. That is Sarah Luna Bloom Gosling. There is no advertising about it. It's under the radar. Yeah. I have to disagree. If you go on the Evening Mail, for instance,
which nobody reads,
I know that you was going to say that, but if you go on the Evening Mail,
well, no, it doesn't exist anymore, does it?
And their website is
they're lots and lots of coverage, usually half-page coverage with pictures and an advertisement as well.
The Birmingham Mail has always given Speedway good coverage. The Express and Stars as well. The Starbridge Chronicle's got Cradley on the back page nearly every week, so as the main story. So
we spoke about this before, and we was going to do something. We was going to do something about it ourselves, and it never happened for one reason or other. Perhaps that's something we can work on in the closed season, which was getting some Facebook advertisements out there.
Yeah,
it's Facebook's and
Facebook, Twitter,
all
Instagram, all these things.
That's the way forward on that.
Even fans forums now are in forums.
But then as Speedway fans, we have to play our part in that. How many people? I religiously go to the Birmingham website, and I go to their Twitter feed, and I share and like and maybe comment if I've got a comment, but just share and like everything.
Yeah.
Because then that goes out to all the people that are on that have got me as a friend or whatever.
Follow you, so.
And then if one or two of those do the same thing, it goes to another. And that's how. So how many people do that? I'd be interested to know, actually. So that's something that, as fans, that we should take responsibility for.
Yeah.
So there we go. First time ever last season, advertising was in the budget for the BSPA.
Can you stop waving your arms about?
No.
You're doing it on purpose now, aren't you?
Yeah. I am the Magnus Pike of the Speedway world. Was it? I don't know anything about that.
Didn't know that at all.
I haven't seen any. Has anybody seen any evidence of that? The reason the supporters are few and far between now is that all of the old fans have moved from Perry Bar for various reasons.
Yeah.
I don't live in Perry Bar.
No.
I still get to the meetings. I felt, I'm to be in Birmingham. I'm as far away from Perry Bar as you can probably get, but still, it's a struggle.
That for me, really, in a sense, is one of the big problems that Speedway's got, isn't it? Is that most clubs now have an ageing fan base where they're having to rely
that's
on.
very much the same in a lot of sports as well.
Yeah,
I think,
I mean, just look at Mike.
But that's one of the things that I know Lee's trying to.
That went over his head, didn't it? So.
Yeah, he never understood that one.
Eric Parsons says, just have to wait and see what BSBA do with leagues next year. 7 teams in top league is not competitive, it's dull and boring. Yes, I can't. Well, I mean, you're in the top league. You comment on that. Is it dull and boring having just the 7 teams? Or do you forget about the fact that it's pool? Or
No. I think. Well, the problem is, of course, if you've got to say, for example, Wolves are racing Swindon next Monday, and I've got an opportunity to go and meet some friends that I haven't seen for ages, and I look at the fixture list and Swindon are back again in a couple of weeks, so I might as well miss this one.
Right.
That's the problem. That would be the one thing about having one big league, is that at least then you would see a little bit more variety.
Andy Waddington says injuries are down to the lack of proper track investment and preparation, but this is just anecdotal.
Yeah,
it needs to be properly investigated. I mean, for instance, I've heard a lot of people say that the Leicester track was abysmal, particularly for our match.
There's been issues at Stoke as well, hasn't there, with the.
But it's not. None of this is documented in any. It's not documented in any meaningful way, and it should be. It needs to be documented so that you can look down and so if all of a sudden, okay, I'm just going to throw a name out. I'll choose a big name because then they can take it. This is just as an example. I'm not saying this is true. Okay. So, for instance, 3 or 4 meetings on the trot or whatever, or a good portion of the season, the referee says, well, there were holes in the pool track, or whatever it is. Then at the end of the season, the SCB can go and say, knock on the door and say, right, you need to do something about this if it happens again next year.
I've thought about this before. Is there a set length of time before a track needs to be relaid?
Probably. I don't know what it is.
Because I don't think the Birmingham track's been relayed since it reopened.
No, so it's been 10 years.
I don't think the Wolves track's been relayed because one thing I've noticed about Wolves in recent years, and I know some other people who have noticed it, is that when you go around to the pits and you look down the home straight, the camber of the track actually bends down a lot towards that, because of course the riders come out of the pits, go right round the top end and then down the ramp and onto the track, and it does sort of it's like a little dip in it almost, because up until about 10 years ago there was a really good racing line on the outside of that track, and that's gone now. Is that a reason?
Who knows? We don't know.
We don't know. I mean, Wolverhampton, to be fair, is a track that's had a lot of use over the last few years, because obviously it's had Wolves matches and then Grady matches, particularly when, of course, it was Wolves on a Monday and then Grady racing on again the night.
We have to stop for a second because Chris is going to bust a gut here. We've got to come to the grand draw for the next T-shirt. So I got to draw it last week. I felt honoured.
Can you ask the winner to message the page?
Okay, yeah, message the page.
Yeah,
message the page, and we'll get back to you. And the winner, there's a few in there this week.
There's
6 shares.
Okay. Well done, everybody.
I can't read this. Go on. So,
Stephen Chattin, is it? Larkin. Stephen Larkin.
Yeah.
Right. You need to go and take some lessons in writing, mate.
Stephen Larkin.
Stephen Larkin. Well done, Stephen. So message the page, and Webby will get back to you.
Strange
We'll
that the
get
bloke
that
who's got-
sent off
It's
to
strange
you.
that the bloke that has glasses can't read it and has to hand it to the bloke that
Was
hasn't got
last
glasses,
week's
isn't it?
T-shirt in Australia, by the way?
Yes.
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 All right.
Yeah. When he comes over or whatever. But I got to say a quick thank you to Paul Wood. Right. I haven't forgot. He's got to have a T-shirt. It's just that I haven't got the size yet.
Okay. Didn't get the size. You do now. They can hear you whispering.
He's a
He's a big lad.
Yeah. We haven't got the
Okay.
size. I haven't forgot. But he shared so much. he got banned by Facebook. So that's the reason he's getting the T-shirt, and
dear.
he got banned.
I did. Why?
Why?
Well, they class it as spamming if it's they see irregular activity. I got banned as well 2 days ago for did too many shares.
Yeah, but you should.
Okay. So thank you, Paul Wood. I haven't forgotten.
Right, I want to spend the next 5 minutes, or what is it, about 5 minutes, talking about tomorrow's match.
We were talking about that race at Bellevue the other week with Match Freak. I've sent it to Webby, so Webby can sort of put that out towards the end of the show. So
What's that?
He's not listening again.
No, I don't
He's
listen.
not
I never
listening.
listen.
There's a brilliant race at Bellevue. It was at Bellevue,
Is that
wasn't
the one you
Yeah.
just sent me?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Oh, right.
So
I'll see if I
you can shove that on. That is really
Screenshot
worth
it,
seeing.
yeah.
That's one
Okay.
of the cracking race. Right, okay. Tomorrow's meeting. Have you got the lineups there? There's been a few changes because of surprise injuries.
Yeah.
What we should say is there's going to be a collection tomorrow for Tom Bacon.
Yeah.
And I think it's very, very fitting that it's Peterborough. Sorry, I should say Birmingham versus Peterborough. Because obviously that's Tom's 2 clubs this year.
32-22 now, by the way, at Cradley Mills Hall in favour of the Fen Tigers.
32-22?
Yes.
Good God.
So Mildenhall put themselves in a strong position.
They really
to,
are a great team, that Mildenhall Tigers.
Anyway, tomorrow, Birmingham, Adam Ellis, Danny Gepmeyer, Jason Garrity, Sam Masters, Ashley Morris and James Shanes. And for Peterborough, Ben Barker, David Howe, Simon Lambert, Ulrich Ustegard, Paul Stark and Jordan Stewart.
There's more Birmingham riders in the Peterborough team than there are in the Birmingham.
Only in Speedway. Looking forward to seeing Sam Masters and Ashley Morris. That might bring some Wolverhampton fans out.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing Adam Ellis as well.
Yeah.
Because he's moved on a piece since...
Ben Barker's always a welcome guest back at Perry Bar. So
it's going to be a cracking night. Hopefully a celebration. Hopefully a bit of fun.
Yeah.
There's nothing
wrong with it, really.
on
It's a meeting where sort of you can just sort of forget about the season really for a while, and just relax a little bit. Obviously not relax too much, but just have a bit of fun, enjoy it.
I will answer that comment in a minute. Wendy Jane Barnett. We'll come back to that. Just want to talk about the Peterborough match. I mean, can you pick a winner? You've got more knowledge of a lot of these riders than I have.
I would probably say Peterborough would be a slight favourite. I think even with a team that's been boosted by a few riders from the Championship and the Premiership, I think the Peterborough team for me on paper is a little bit stronger. Reserve might be the key issue. I think Birmingham might be slightly stronger at reserve, but
and it's going to be a big meeting for James Shanes.
Yeah, it is. He's going
to put himself in the shop window for a championship
slot for next year, or maybe even a Premiership spot if he feels he wants to go in that league.
He's going to want to shine. Needs to get his gating boots on, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to see a difference, aren't we? That first corner is. That's where the big difference is.
Yeah.
How hard they are going into.
Well, I think you mentioned
corner.
when the first ever elite league meeting at Perry Bar, you noticed the difference on when they went into that first corner.
Yeah.
Compared to
Yeah. Oh yes.
I think you were quite taken aback, weren't you?
I did take a step back. I thought, well, that was different.
Yeah.
It's. David Holmes said on his Facebook page he's not fit and pulled out.
Oh.
So
there you go.
There you go. Can I? Okay, so Wendy Jane Barnett says all tracks should. it's going to be a great meeting, by the way, tomorrow.
Yes.
Come along. If you're a Wolverhampton supporter, if you're a Peterborough supporter, come down and support Tom Bacon and put your money in the hat.
Yep.
So get yourself down there. Alan Atherton said, no, sorry, Wendy Jane Barnett said, all tracks should be inspected every year. They can't say there are too many tracks nowadays. I disagree with that. I say all tracks should and actually are inspected every meeting. Referees do inspect the tracks and they send a report about the state of the track. But what doesn't happen, as far as I'm aware, is that gets connected with the number of injuries or falls or whatever. That should be part of the report, shouldn't it?
It should be, yeah. I mean, you don't want people turning a blind eye to it, and I think people need to look at this system now with injuries in the sport head on, because you know, we are getting, well, any injuries, too many injuries, but particularly in the last few weeks. I mean, you had the crash a few weeks ago at Workington with Dan Bewley, where the meeting was abandoned, and of course everybody was asked to leave the stadium. I've never known that happened before.
No.
Yeah, something needs to be looked into, really.
Yes, injuries are part and part of the sport, but the parcel's too big.
Yeah, yes, danger is part of the sport as well, but there's got to be sort of a balancing act, isn't there? It's got to be within reason.
Okay. The refs do as they do at Kent Kings. I don't understand what's being said there, so I do apologise for that. Maybe I've missed something. Okay, well, gosh, we have had a full show once again.
Yep.
One more show.
That's right.
And then we'll probably do something after the AGM.
Yep.
Because it's going to be a big one this year.
Yep.
Going to be a big one. Just say again, get yourselves over to Peterborough tomorrow. No, don't go to Peterborough. Don't go to Peterborough, for goodness sake. Get yourself over to Perry
There's
Bar.
no crowd at Perry Bar, David. It's this man's fault. So.
Just to follow up what you're just talking about, Keith Newman says, but how many refs know what they are looking at?
I don't know, but
They should do by now.
yeah. Well, I know what I'm looking at. Most Speedway supporters know what they're looking at. You know, I mean, it's not rocket science. There's a hole in the track. Somebody's got injured. Let's collate it. If that's what's happened, you know, I mean, until you start collecting data, you can't start looking at trends. You can't start working out what needs to be changed. You can't. It's until you start collecting hard data. It's just anecdotal and it means nothing. So that's it. And I'm not going to finish on that note. Come to Perry Bar tomorrow and witness some great racing.
Shall we play the Bellevue race before we?
I think
I'm going to try and
he's
hook
going to
it up,
run it as we go
on
through the thing.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you again for your support and see you in a couple of weeks.
Good night.